It's playoff time here in Junction City once again. The 2024 Cowden Cup Mid-Plains League Playoff Championship Series Game 1 between the visiting Topeka Warhawks and the home Junction City Brigade being played right here at Raiders Stadium in Junction City. I'm Joe Compton, your broadcaster for the evening. And before we get to the starting lineups, we're just going to talk a little bit about what each team did to get here. Both teams have played one series thus far. Junction City, the top seed, easily dispatched the fourth-seeded at Midwest A's in a 2-0 sweep. While Topeka Warhawks had to work a little harder. The second-seeded team from the capital city dispatched the Baldwin City Blues by a series score of 2-1. Now getting into the starting lineup, starting with the visiting Topeka Warhawks. Batting first, the center fielder, Stephen Fermin. Second, the designated hitter, Sean Gomez. Batting third, the first baseman, Alex Alleman. Fourth, the third baseman, Joel Piguero. Fifth, the right fielder, Lane Wilkerson. Sixth, the second baseman, Darian Pretorius. Seventh, the catcher, Ryan Mendiola. Eighth, the shortstop, Jefferson Teneo. Ninth, the left fielder, Corbin Evans. And pitching for the Topeka Warhawks is Jason Montero. Now for the home Junction City Brigade. Batting first, the left fielder, Sammy Padilla. Second, the center fielder, Ian Luce. Third, the third baseman, David Simmons. Fourth, the first baseman, George Andrews. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Giovanni Toledo. Batting sixth, the second baseman, Andy Pacheco. Seventh, the catcher, Zach Becker. Eighth, the right fielder, Kayla Ortner. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Jackson Summers. Pitching for Junction City tonight is Caden Walker. Now, probably going to take a bit of a break here while we wait for the rest of the action to begin. Unfortunately, I have to say it every time. It's kind of a housekeeping thing. Oh, I just realized my break sign is... and it should not be. Okay, we're not on break. So, whenever we do go on a break, that break sign will go on, and I'll have to mute the stream. There won't be any sound, so if you hear sound, you see that, one or the other, you'll know they're on a break, like Ross and Rachel. Yeah, so we should be getting ready to go pretty soon, finishing up the coaches meeting between Junction City manager Chandler Bloomer and Warhawks manager Jose Suero. And I think they're about to make the starting lineup announcements over the PA. Okay, they're doing the national anthem. Break now. Okay, we are back from our break, and it looks like we're just about ready to go. Caden Walker taking his warm-up pitches. We're done with the national anthem and the starting lineups as far as over the PA. So that we will switch over our file. And it's a warmer night here in Junction City, warmer than it's been. We are currently experiencing temperatures of, well, it's right at 90 degrees. Right at 90, it's supposed to get down to about 83 around 9 p.m. So a nice 7-degree drop for the players, the fans, and me. Will feel nice as Stephen Fermin steps up to the plate, and he will be the first batter of this 2024 Championship Series. As far as heat index, it feels about like 92. And the first pitch in there for called strike one. So the count 0-1 to Fermin. Make that 0-2. That one a little bit higher, but finds the zone. Caden Walker pitching against the team representing his hometown of Topeka. Walker just finished up his sophomore season at Cloud County Community College as Fermin hits one to David Simmons at third. The throw over to first is high, but in time for out number one. The 5-3 put out, and
second for the Topeka Warhawks, number 29, Sean Gomez.
There is one out, and we will fix our video. It's very nice if you are Junction City to have such a tall player like George Andrews at first base. Can kind of have a little more leeway as first pitch Sean Gomez sees is in there for strike one. But you have a little more leeway with obviously throwing. Not only is he tall, that he's got a pretty decently sized wingspan. Is that one low for ball one? Count now 1-1, but that wingspan makes for easier plays at first base. And the 1-1 swung on and missed by Gomez for strike two. Gomez has had a pretty solid playoff series so far, hitting .364 in 14 plate appearances across 3 games. As he sends this one to Simmons once again, the throw to first in time. Back-to-back 5-3 putouts. And there are 2 outs now here in the top of the first inning.
Number 12, Alex Hilton.
And up now, the first left-hander in the Topeka Warhawks roster. It is, or at least in their lineup, it is Alex Alleman. And the first pitch fouled off on the third base side. Count 0-1. The 0-1. Low and in the turf. I believe that actually might have hit the plate. Count now 1-1. Decent turnout here so far in Junction City. I'd never one to make estimates on the crowd as far as number because I'm just very bad. I might have to actually go and count. The 1-1 inside. Count now 2-1. And for the first time in this game, there are more balls than strikes on the scoreboard. But a decent crowd here, and it is just 7-7, so I expect the crowd to file in as the 2-1 fastball low and away for ball 3. It is a great night for baseball, and Junction City always shows out. And what might be their final game of the Summers, this one is hit foul on the first base side. The count goes full. Obviously, this might be the last game of the summer, should it end. It will be if this ends in a 2-0 sweep for either side. Tonight is game 1. Tomorrow's game 2 will be in Topeka, And should there be a Game 3, it will be back here on Sunday night. The payoff pitch fouled off into the backstop, and we will go again with count still at 3-2. The payoff pitch hit right back to Walker, but he deflects that to second base. The throw over to first in time. Great recovery play by Andy Pacheco to get there, and that'll do it here in the top of the first inning. No runs off, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. After the 1-2-3 inning, we go to the bottom of the first after the break. Whoops, thank you for the message. Yeah, I forgot to unmute. Okay, we're back. Whoops. My bad. I'll make sure to check that next time. Either way, bases have been walked and hit by pitched full. It is cleanup hitter George Andrews up to the plate, and he sends this one into shallow left field. Corbin Evans makes the catch, but Padilla is going to tag up from third. No play at the plate. The sac fly by George Andrews, and the home Junction City Brigade strike first. 1-0.
31, Giovanni Toledo.
And up now at the plate is Giovanni Toledo. Okay, I see what I did. I accidentally unmuted the wrong element. Some of the behind-the-scenes tech stuff and bound for at least one slip-up a game. Unfortunately, the first pitch that DH Giovanni Toledo takes is outside for ball one. Toledo, another Tucson native, and another Emporia State Hornet. Not the only one in the roster. This one in there for strike one. The count evens up at 1-1. The others being Pacheco and Padilla. All three from Tucson. All three go to Emporia State. Playing for Brad Hill. The breaking ball out low and outside. The count now 2-1. The manager for Emporia State is Brad Hill, former Kansas State manager, and I believe he is an alum of the Hornets. The 2-1 fouled off, and this one might have gotten out of the park completely. The count moves to 2-2. As I said before, it was pretty quick work for Junction City in the first two games this year, or the first two games of the playoffs. As they took care of business against the Midwest A's, that pitch outside, the count now full for the second time in this inning. But those two games were 10-2 and 15-7 in favor of Junction City. And they are here for their fourth consecutive Cowden Cup finals appearance. And the payoff pitch, low for ball four. Topeka wanted an appeal to first base on the check swing. He did not go, says the field umpire John Sweet, and we're going to have a mound visit by Topeka manager Jose Suero. And normally we'd take a break, but I'll talk through it because, the bases are loaded once again, and up to the plate it will be Andy Pacheco, but that's all going to happen after a new pitcher. And we will tell you who that is in just one moment. That is number 5, Luis Gallardo. So Jason Montero's day is done. But, however, his stat line has not closed, as all three base runners inherited, should they scored, will be credited to Montero. However, as far as batters faced and all, everything like that, 5 batters faced, 3 walks, 1 hit by pitch, 1 run so far. Could be more. Junction City with a lot of, like I said, a lot of room to work with. They have bases loaded, 1 out. They could look to possibly sac fly 1 more home. It's definitely a deeper outfield here than it is in other places. I believe it is 375 at Hummer Sports Park where Topeka plays in center field, and I think it's 325. I guess the left field is the one part that is definitely the longest. It is 342 out here. at the left field foul pole, 324 in right. In Topeka, it's 325 at both poles. So definitely, well, it changes things up either way because that's how geometry and finding the area of everything. But I will say maybe it's just a trick of the eye or something like that. But it looks bigger too, and so that might be sometimes a little daunting to fielders. But I guess they know that outfield grass better than anybody else. Okay, I'm done rambling about that as Andy Pacheco steps up to the plate looking to add another. And like I said, it is a new pitcher in Luis Gallardo. And this one sent to the glove of Jefferson Teneo. He steps on second himself and makes the throw over to first in time. So the 6-3 double play gets Topeka out of a bases loaded jam. However, not before they score a run. Junction City scores 1 run off no hits, no errors. They leave 2 on. We go to the top of the second with the home team leading 1-0 after the break. Joel Peguero leads off the top of the second inning. His squad currently in a 1-0 deficit. The first pitch he sees is inside. I believe they're saying that hit him. Either way, it is the umpire's call, so he is on board via the HBP as Topeka's first base runner of the game. And up steps Lane Wilkerson. First pitch Wilkerson sees in there for called strike 1. Wilkerson, a native of Cibola, Texas. I hope I'm saying that right. As he swings at the 0-1, makes the count 0-2. Plays his college ball like a lot of these Topeka Warhawks down at Arlington Baptist University. The 0-2 in there for called strike 3. And Caden Walker has his first strikeout of the game. And there is 1 down. Here in the top of the second inning, and up to the plate is Darian Pretorius, who fouls the first pitch off, 0-1. Pretorius, a native of Krugersdorp, South Africa, currently plays his ball at Brescia University, as the fastball goes low and the count evens up at 1-1. Brescia, an NAI member of, I believe, the River States Conference. Fortunately, I did not write that down. As the pitch is a strike, Peguero goes, and he's in safely. So a stolen base for Joel Peguero. The count moves to 1-2, but Topeka with a runner in scoring position. And that one in there for strike 3. 2 down after a second strikeout for Caden Walker.
Now batting for the Warhawks, number 7, Ryan Mendel.
And yes, Brescia is in the River States Conference. And up now to the plate is Ryan Mendiola, and he swings and misses at the first pitch. So that was a strikeout swinging. The 0-1 just misses the outside part of the zone. The count now at 1-1. Mendiola swings and misses once again. The count moves to 1-2. Mendiola, another Arlington Baptist Patriot. However, he is a native of Pearland, Texas. As Peguero caught off the bag, and he's not even going to bother even trying to get out of that one. He is easily tagged. A somewhat rare caught picked off, tagged by pitcher, but that is the case, and that'll do it here in the top of the second. No runs off, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. A sort of a one, we're going to call it a 1-2-3, 3.5. The inning ends on the base pass, and Junction City retains their 1-0 lead. And with that, we will take a break and be back with the bottom of the second inning. Zach Becker leads off the bottom of the second inning. Junction City with a 1-0 lead. And it is pitcher Luis Gallardo out for another inning of work. So, first pitch by Gallardo. High and outside for ball 1. So, this one, I believe, low for ball 2. Fouled off. 2-1. So, as I said before, when Gallardo was warming up, that Montero's line had not gone final, and then I read off what it was, and that's actually what it remained. Gallardo has faced one batter so far. This one excellently fielded by Joel Peguero to even get a throw to third. However, it is not in time. I believe that actually literally might have been a tie, but an infield But as we all know, tie goes to the runner, and Zach Becker works himself an infield single for the first hit of the game. And up to the plate now is Cale Ortner. First pitch Ortner sees is high for ball 1. But Jason Montero's line, as Gallardo throws it over to first, cannot find Becker. Would be 5 batters faced. The 1-0 swung on and missed, the count 1-1. But 5 batters faced, no hits, 1 run. That run was earned. 3 walks, 1 hit by pitch. Gallardo throws it over to first once again. Cannot find Becker. And that is the 3rd time, so that should be the 3rd disengagement. However, not sure if that is being enforced at present. Gallardo goes home, and this one fouled off. Out of play. The count now 1-2. Cale Ortner, a native of Clive, Iowa, redshirted this past season at Pittsburgh State University, down southeast of here. As the 1-2 bounces in the left-handed batter's box, and Mendiola not really sure where it went, and Becker took that time to go straight to second base. So runner in scoring position, the count now 2-2 to Cale Ortner. The 2-2 high, and the count goes full. So this is the third full count that the Junction City Brigade batters have seen. The payoff pitch, high for ball 4, and each one has ended up in a walk. Junction City with runners on first and second now, as Jackson Summers rounds out the lineup. The 9-hole hitter up to the plate now. Runners on first and second, and Summers shows bunt, pulls back as Joel Peguera comes in from third. But the pitch was high for ball 1. Summers, another Topeka native, currently playing his college ball with the Hutchinson Blue Dragons down in Hutchinson, Kansas. Will be a sophomore there in the fall. He shows bunt, not able to get bat on this one. So it is strike 1. All right, Before Summers was a Hutchinson Blue Dragon, he was a Hayden Wildcat. The 1-1 breaking ball fouled off. Count now 1-2. Hayden, of course, has a few famous alums, probably most notably Mark Turgeon, key basketball player, and eventually head coach of schools such as Wichita State, Texas A&M, and Maryland. The 2-2, low for ball 3, and the throw by Mendiola goes into left field to try to catch Becker, and he goes from third to home. Junction City with their second runner on the board, and in all the hoopla of that, Cale Ortner moved up to second base. So Junction City retains their runner in scoring position. The count even now at 2-2. The 2-2 high. The count now full for the second time this inning. Like I said before, every 3-2 count has gone the way of Junction City. We'll see what happens here. The payoff pitch swung on and missed. And Luis Gallardo with his first strikeout of the game.
Number 16, Sammy Padilla.
For the first out of the inning as well. Sam Padilla steps up to the plate now. As he is the top of this Junction City order. He takes the first pitch in there for called strike one. Padilla, in his first plate appearance, worked a full count walk and would go on to score what is the first run of the game, as this one drops into the triangle of death in right center field. Sam Padilla with the leadoff single moves Ortner over to third. And Junction City with runners at the corners for Ian Luce up at the plate. Luce currently 0 for 0, was hit by a pitch. In fact, only one at-bat was actually registered in the top of the, as Padilla goes, and he gets around the tag. So he steals second. That one was definitely a close play, and I believe that was strike one. So the count 0-1, but runners at second and third for Junction City. Luce, I said this before, but I think this was the time that I was muted. He swings and misses at that one, and I believe that went off his foot, but the count now 0-2. Luce is definitely a guy that you're going to see, well, I guess the final MVP candidates don't get released to the public, but he is definitely a name that's going to come up a lot as the MVP race gets decided. The 0-2, an inside pitch. He ropes it foul down the first base side, and the count remains at 0-2. Another guy you will see a lot of as well is Topeka third baseman Joel Peguero. I think those two might come up the most commonly in as far as the MVP race. This one foul once again. The count remains at 0-2. A couple of kind of off-speed inside pitches by Gallardo in the last two that he's shown that he's thrown to Luce. And Luce is connected with both of them, however, both in foul territory. As the 0-2 did the same thing once again and the same result. However, this one wasted no time to get foul. It goes out of play, I believe, into the beer garden down the right field line. If not, that might have been over the fence completely and out of the premises. But the count remains at 0-2. And it's another like slower breaking ball, which Luce fouls off once again. However, that was a little more outside, and Luce had to reach across the plate to hit it. And thus it was foul on the third base side. The count remaining at 0-2. I believe Luce is... This one goes fair. It actually hits first base. Orton will score. Padilla coming around. Luce going to second. And Jefferson Teneo did not come up with the ball, so Luce is safe. A 2 RBI double for Ian Luce. And Junction City extends their lead to 4-0. And what an effort by Ian Luce. Faced 0-2 early, fouled off the 4 pitches in a row, only to send one. It was fair either way, and definitely was a single. However, it took a hop off first base, which makes you wonder as David Simmons up to the plate once again. The first pitch he sees is inside 4-1. Simmons 0 for 0 with a walk. He was stranded on second base in the bottom of the first. Luce the only runner on now, so Gallardo only has to worry about one base runner rather than two. But the pitch in there for called strike one. The 1-1, low for ball 2. Pretty sure I was muted for all this, so I'm just going to use the material again. Simmons, a native of Atlanta, Georgia, plays his college ball at Cloud County Community College in Concordia, just west of here. However, Cloud County Community College does have a campus right here in Junction City. And thus, they have a banner out in right center field that says Cloud County Community College, and it has their logo. It's kind of fun, as the count is 3-1. 3-1, swung on and fouled. Count goes full. So this is now the third full count of the inning. And Simmons, if he can get a hold of one, surely would score loose from second. He's going to do that as long as he reaches base, because I don't think a sac fly is going to score loose. Anything's possible, though. He does have the speed, but the payoff pitch is low and outside for ball 4. David Simmons works his second walk of the game, and there are runners on first and second. And we're going to have a mound visit by manager Jose Suero. And with that, we will take a short break. We're back from the break, and it is a new pitcher. The new pitcher is Dylan Quezada. He replaces Luis Gallardo. And George Andrews is the first batter that Quezada will face. The first pitch to Andrews in there for called strike 1. Quezada, originally from Corpus Christi, Texas. Another Arlington Baptist Patriot. Is George Andrews sends this one into center field. Stephen Fermin is under it. Ian Luce tagging up, though. The throw to third, not in time. There's a throw to second, however, and that one, Simmons was out. And I believe we might be looking at an injury at second base. Not sure if something happened with the slide and Darren Pretorius, however, he has his glove off and is holding his finger. Hope he's okay, though. But that'll do it here in the in the bottom of the second. No runs off, 2 runs. Wow, holy. 2 runs off 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on. Junction City extends their lead. They now lead 4-0. And we will take a break and come back with the top of the 3rd inning. Ryan Mendiola leads off the top of the 3rd inning for the Topeka Warhawks. As first pitch by Caden Walker in there for strike 1. Mendiola up to the plate for the 2nd time, however, has not even registered a plate appearance as he sees 0-2. The first one, the first attempt was the last attempt, he was the last batter in the batter's box of the top of the 2nd inning. However, that ended on the base pass. Mendiola did see 1 and 2 before, well, he swings and misses at the outside fastball. A 3-pitch strikeout. And Caden Walker with his 3rd of the game. 1 out here in the top of the 3rd for Jefferson Teneo stepping up to the plate. The first pitch Teneo sees is high for ball 1. Make that strike 1 as the count is 1-1 to Teneo. This one hit straight to the glove of David Simmons. Goes down on 1 knee to get it. The L6 is the 2nd out of the inning. And up to the plate now is Corbin Evans. The first pitch Evans sees is in there for called strike 1. Evans, the left fielder, not only an Arlington Baptist Patriot, as he sends this one foul into the beer garden on the right field side. Not only an Arlington Baptist Patriot, originally from Arlington himself, so he is from the same city as the Texas Rangers and the Arlington Renegades of the now UFL. He hits this one to second base. The throw over to first by Pacheco is in time. So that'll do it here in the top of the 3rd. No runs off, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on. A 3rd consecutive 1-2-3 inning. Junction City leads 4-0. We'll see if they can add to it after the break. Giovanni Toledo leads off the bottom of the third inning in a game that's been all Junction City so far. Brigade lead 4-0 and are looking to add to it. The first pitch, Giovanni Toledo sends this one out into right field. However, Lane Wilkerson is there to make the catch. One away. And with that, each Topeka outfielder has made a catch now. That kind of happened one per inning. A sac fly to left in the first, a fly out, and when it ended up being a double play, a fly out to center in the second, and now a fly out to right as Andy Pacheco gets a hold of one. However, it is another fly out to left. 2 away in what's been a pretty efficient inning so far. 2 pitches, 2 outs.
Number 2, Zach Becker.
Zach Becker steps up to the plate. Becker in a little bit different situation than he was the last time he was at the plate. He led off the bottom of the second, now comes in with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. He takes the first pitch for called strike 1. Becker, a Manhattan resident originally, Manhattan, just about 25 minutes east of here. Attended Rock Creek High School and will be a Newman Jet in the fall, transferring after a 2-year stint at Coffeyville Community College. But the count is 1-1 to Becker, make that 2-1. This is pitcher Dylan Quezada. He came in the bottom of the second inning, replacing Luis Gallardo, who in turn replaced starter Jason Montero. As the 2-1 hit Becker, and he is aboard via the HBP. Junction City with their first base runner of the inning with 2 outs.
Number 12, Cale Ortner.
And Cale Ortner up to the plate now, trying to drive home Becker. Both of them scored this past inning. Becker reached via a single, Ortner a walk, and Ortner's a quarter of the way there to another walk as the first pitch goes outside for ball 1. As I said before, Ortner, a native of Clive, Iowa, which is in the Quezada throws over to first, cannot find Becker. Clive is in the Des Moines area. I believe it is just west of the capital city in Iowa. Ortner sends this one to left field, and a nice catch by Stephen Fermin. He caps off that attempt by diving at it, but it is a fly out to center, and that'll do it here in the bottom of the third. No runs off, no hits, no errors, 1 left on. Junction City retains their 4-0 lead. We'll see if Topeka can cut into it in the top of the 4th after the break. after a nice diving catch to finish the bottom of the third. It is Stephen Fermin in the batter's box now to lead off the top of the fourth. The first pitch he sees by Caden Walker is high for ball one. Fermin currently 0 for 1. Grounded out to David Simmons at third in his first plate appearance, or first at bat. He now sees 2-0 at the count. 2-0. Hit to Simmons again. The throw to first way high. And Fermin's on his way to second. George Andrews not able to find him. Excuse me. I heard cheering. I did not see a call. But Stephen Fermin on second. So that is an E5. The reason for his stay. But for the first time, the second time, Topeka Warhawks with a runner on to lead off the inning. As the first pitch to Sean Gomez, high for strike one, or in there for strike one. So I kind of said before that it's nice to have such a tall figure as George Andrews as your first baseman, but he wasn't going to be able to get anything that big. As this one hit, and Fermin tagged once again by Walker. And Caden Walker's shown that he really likes to do it himself. As he catches Fermin, and the fielder's choice gets Sean Gomez to first base. And it is Alex Allman up the plate. Sorry, had a lot to do in my scorebook and did not get it all. The first pitch to Allman in there for strike one. So the count even now at 1-1. Make that count 1-2. So that one fastball finds the zone again, and Allman 0 for 1 in this game. That's the breaking ball outside, 2-2. There, done with everything now. But the count even at 2-2 remains there as Allman fouls the pitch off into the netting. So as I said before, it appeared Caden Walker kind of likes to do things himself. He ended up tagging Fermin there on the last play, the 2-2 high, and the count goes full. However, in the second inning, when he caught Peguero on the pickoff, he ended up running and getting him there as well. The payoff pitch fouled off down the third base side. That one looked for a second like. No, it really never had a chance. I don't know what I'm saying. I thought it did. It didn't. But the count is and will remain at 3-2. The payoff pitch once again. Walker tries to get Allman to chase on the outside fastball. Cannot find him. And a walk is the result. Topeka with a runner in scoring position with Joel Peguero up at the plate. Peguero was Topeka's first base runner, and before this inning only, as he ropes this one into left field. And this one takes one bounce off the wall. Gomez going home, Allman behind him. That took a weird bounce in the dirt. An RBI double by Joel Peguero is the first hit of the game. And the first runner scores is Sean Gomez. Runners at second and third now for Topeka. They've cut the deficit to 3, and the tying run is now at the plate in Corbin Evans. That one, I'm not sure Padilla really would have had a play on it. It's the first pitch to Wilkerson. Is outside or in there for called strike one. If I said Evans, I meant Wilkerson. And this one hit up into the air. David Simmons and Zach Becker giving chase, and it lands on the roof of the grandstand. 0-2 the count. Two just inside. Count goes to 1-2. So Junction City scored the first 4 runs. However, Topeka has at least bit back with one of their own, possibly even more. They have runners on second and third. The 1-2 high. Probably would have hit Wilkerson if he didn't get down, but he did. Protect the noggin. Count is 2-2, and Zach Becker is going to have a quick conversation with his pitcher. Maybe try to calm him down or talk about what's next, but at least gives Walker a little bit of a break. And right now, a batted ball by Wilkerson, obviously, if it's in play, should realistically score 1. A hit would probably score 2. But we'll see if and how that happens. Right here, the count 2-2. The 2-2 swung on and missed. That is strikeout number 4 for Caden Walker. And there are 2 outs now in the top of the 4th inning for Darian Pretorius up at the plate. Pretorius 0 for 1 so far in this game with a strikeout. He fouls off the first pitch right behind him. Count 0-1. So same scenario as far as a little different scenario. A batted ball doesn't necessarily mean a run, given that Topeka only has 1 out to play with. The 0-1 low for ball 1. However, a hit probably would score 1, possibly 2. Peguero is pretty quick at second, so he might be hauling to get there. The 1 swung on and missed. The count now 1-2. So just 1 pitch will get Caden Walker out of it, but not yet. That one's outside and past the glove of Becker. Allman scores from third. Peguero moves over to third. The count moves even at 2-2. And Topeka gets another one back. They now trail by just 2. So now it's going to take a lot for a hit to score 2. Probably a home run. Yeah, actually it would be a home run. But the 2-2 outside, and the count now full. Pretorius struck out in his last at bat, trying to extend this inning, which has already proven to be in the Warhawks' favor. The 2-2 to Caden Walker at pitcher. However, it was Jackson Summers to make the play at short. However, I thought the throw was in time. However, Pretorius was ruled safe. So that scores Piguero over from third. And I'm not sure if George Andrews was off the bag or not, but it could be the case. The score is now 4-3. After the infield single by Pretorius. And up now at the plate is Ryan Mendiola. And the first pitch that Mendiola saw was a low for ball 1. And the same there, ball 2. So 2-0, the count to the catcher. Mendiola 0 for 1 so far with a strikeout. And this one fouled off and out of play. And thought a fan in the beer garden might have caught that with his bare hands. However, that was not the case. Would have been cool, though. Would have been cool. But the count is 2-1. 2-1, high for ball 3. Yeah, there was one time in a cricket game where a fan caught a foul ball in his beer cup, or not a foul ball, there are no foul balls in cricket, but caught a ball in his beer cup, and I always thought that would be really cool to do. But the 3-1, Mendiola thought it was ball 4. However, the home plate umpire rules it strike 2, so the count is full. So that one probably would have been in there, but definitely helped by a frame by Becker. I always like to shout out good frame jobs, and that was definitely one of them. The payoff pitch. Outside for ball 4. Ryan Mendiola works himself a full count walk. Topeka with runners on first and second now, and we're going to have a mound visit by Junction City manager Chandler Bloomer. As the next batter up at the plate is Jefferson Teneo. And should Teneo reach base, then Topeka will have gone through the order. As the Topeka dugout quite lively now. They do like to get a little rowdier as they start to make comebacks in games, which I've seen them do that quite often as far as making comebacks. In baseball, you're never truly quite out of it, and Topeka exemplifies that quite a lot. First pitch that Jefferson Teneo sees is outside for ball 1. Some activity in the Junction City bullpen. I can't see who it is. I can see who I think it is, as that one goes high for ball 2. Yep, I see who it is. It is Trevor Laughlin in the bullpen for Junction City. Obviously, Junction City hoping to not need him until probably next inning. Topeka hoping maybe they face him. The 2-0 in there for called strike 1. And 2-1. I have streaks all over my scorebook, unfortunately, as I don't have anything to back it. The 2-1 outside, the count now 3-1, and so holding it in my hands, and when it bends, yeah, well, it happens, unfortunately. But the count is 3-1 to Teneo. And the 3-1 just outside for ball 4, and Walker wants to know the location of that one, and I can't say I blame him. That was one of those that probably goes 50-50
Now batting for the Warhawks,
on whether it's called a ball or a strike, but the bases are loaded as Corbin Evans is up to the plate. That one called strike one because the outside part of the zone. And this is probably the loudest I've heard it in here so far, although most of it coming from the Topeka dugout, and then the fans choosing to interact with him. The 0-1 fouled off. Count now 0-2. So tying runner at third, leading runner at second. For Topeka, a hit would surely tie the game up, even possibly give them the lead, depending on what it is. However, a force at any base is the trade-off. The 0-2 swung on and missed. Foul tip, actually. But that goes down as a strikeout, and that's going to do it here in the top of the fourth inning. 3 runs. 3 runs off 2 hits, 1 error. Topeka strands the bases loaded, but they cut their deficit to just 1 run. And with that, we will take a break and see if Junction City has a response in the bottom of the fourth inning. Jackson Summers leads off the bottom of the fourth inning for Junction City, and woo, I had to run to go fill up my water and back in time. I'm just trying to catch my breath. This is Dylan Quezada out for another inning for Topeka. Whew. I need to get in shape. First pitch that Summers saw was fouled off. Just kind of grazed the roof of the grandstand. But it is 0-1 either way. The breaking ball by Quezada, and therefore called strike 2. So 0-2 the count. Summers 0 for 1 with a strikeout. We'll see if it's the same here. He stays alive, fouling the 0-2 pitch off, and the count remains at 2-2. So the score is 4-0. Junction City put up 1 run in the bottom of the first, then added in the bottom of the second with 3. However, Topeka is countered with 3 as the 0-2 inside. Count now 1-2. However, Topeka countered with 3 in the top of this inning, cutting the lead to just 1. However, as the 1-2 outside for ball 2. However, this is a very potent Junction City offense who can fire up at really on command almost. And we'll see if they can do it once again. The 2-2 hit past the glove of Darian Pretorius, and second base gets into right field. And Jackson Summers is aboard with his first hit of the game and a leadoff single. Up steps Sammy Padilla, the leadoff hitter for Junction City. The leadoff hitter for Junction City. Padilla 1 for 1 with a walk and a single. Has scored twice, meaning he has scored exactly 1/2 of Junction City's runs so far. If he wants to continue that, oh, we'll see. I don't want to do the math in my head right now. But the first pitch he saw was in there for strike one. Quezada throws back to first. Cannot find Summers. Quezada goes back again. This one a little closer, but still the same. Being that this is a championship series, there are 2 field umpires, much like what these guys would see in a college game, as the 0-1 is high for ball 1. As I believe all college games have 2 field umpires and a plate umpire. However, most Mid-Plains League games have just 1. The 1-1 high and in. Padilla ducked and got out of the way of it. And the count now at 2-1. The 2-1 hit into right field. And it is Blaine Wilkerson under it for out number 1.
Now batting for the Junction City Brigade, number 10, Ian Luce.
And up steps Ian Luce. Luce currently 1 for 1 in this game with a hit by pitch and a double. However, has not been able to score. Despite driving in a couple runs himself, has not been able to cross home plate himself, as Quezada throws over to first once again. Cannot find Summers. The sun's starting to go down here, and it's feeling pretty nice. Summers goes, and the throw is to the left of Teneo, so he had to kind of move his glove out of the way, and had to do a 180 with his glove, and could not get there. So stolen base for Jackson Summers. A runner in scoring position for Junction City. As the count was 2-0 after that pitch, now at 3-0 as Ian Luce takes an inside. So yes, the count 3-0. Inside. 4-4. Ian Luce with a 4-pitch walk. And Junction City with runners on first and second, with David Simmons up at the plate.
Ian Luce draws a 4-pitch walk, and that brings to the plate number 18, David Simmons.
David Simmons, 0 for 0, has walked in both plate appearances so far. He's going to look to maybe get on base as he fouls the first pitch off on the first base side. Count 0-1. Kind of wasn't sure which direction he was possibly going to go. Whether that was autopilot. I don't know where I was going with that sentence. To quote Frank Costanza, I've lost my train of thought. The 0-1 just outside. The count moves even at 1. But Simmons 0 for 0 with a walk, as I said. However, has not made it past second base in either attempt. As he check swings. Didn't even check swing, but it didn't matter. It is called strike 2, so the count was even at 2-2. Junction City has stranded 4 runners so far, and David Simmons was one of them, and he was thrown out as part of a double play at the end of the second inning. The 2-2 hit to Teneo at short, and An E6 will be the cause of David Simmons reaching first. That was in and out of the glove of the Topeka shortstop.
That brings to play number 34, George Andrews.
And the bases are loaded for George Andrews. Andrews has put the ball into the outfield in both plate appearances so far. Sac fly to bring home the first run of the game and the top of the first in a flyout which ended up being a double play in the bottom of the second. First pitch he sees in this at-bat outside for ball one. Of course, he sends this one deep and into right field. Lane Wilkerson looking to catch it. That one is gone. A George Andrews grand slam, and Junction City has their 4-run lead back. Not just 4, make it 5. And George Andrews, always the power hitter that he is. And Junction City leads now leads 8-3. As that one, the first one he had was pretty close. That one made it over the wall, and I should have noted George Andrews, a power hitter, did win the home run derby, the Mid-Plains League home run derby, just 6 days ago. That was right here in Junction City, and I saw him hit a couple right to that area. And if you're a Junction City fan, you can breathe a little easier knowing your lead is now 5. That was the first pitch that Giovanni Toledo sees is low for ball one, and we're going to have another mound visit by manager Jose Suero. And we will step aside for a short break. I believe this is the end of the day for Dylan Quezada, so we'll tell you who the new pitcher is after the break. Back from our break, it is a new pitcher. The new pitcher is Jefferson Camillo. The first pitch, Jefferson Camillo. I believe it's Jefferson. If I am mistaken, please somebody correct me in the comments. That was one I was never able to figure out, but he's done his job so far. He's thrown 2 pitches to Giovanni Toledo, one a called strike and one a foul ball. The count now at 1-2. Camilo making his second appearance of the postseason. Through as this one called strike 3, and I'm not sure that Toledo agrees with that call, but it's the call nevertheless. So the count, well, there are two outs now.
Number 32, Andy Pacheco.
2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth as Andy Pacheco steps up to the plate looking for his first hit of the game. Pacheco 0 for 2, grounded into a double play to end the first inning and flew out to left in the second inning. So Camilo, this is his second postseason appearance, came in for 2 1/3 innings against Baldwin City on Tuesday. There's that one down the chute for called strike 1. 1-1 the count. The 1-1 fouled off into the netting. They count now at 1-2. So what I've seen so far with Topeka's relievers, they've thrown a new reliever every inning, or not thrown a new reliever every inning. Every time they bring somebody in, it is in the middle of an inning, and that reliever tends to do well for the remainder of the inning. The 1-2, an appeal down to first. And the first base umpire said that Pacheco swung, and that, I can't say I agree with that. I don't even think if a swing is 90 degrees, I think he turned his bat about 35. But a strikeout is the call, and I believe it will be. That is the end of the fourth inning. 4 runs off 2 hits, one of them a George Andrews grand slam that brought home all 4. 1 error, none left on. Junction City extends their lead to 5. 8-3 the score as we go to the top of the 5th after the break. Stephen Fermin leads off the top of the 5th inning. Topeka has had their deficit erased, or excuse me, had the deficit they cut into broken back open. The first pitch that Stephen Fermin sees is a strike. This one hit to David Simmons, the throw to first in time for out number 1, and I'll say Fermin really likes to hit it to third. He's hit it to David Simmons all 3 times. Been thrown out twice, and one was in an error. As Sean Gomez is in, and the first pitch, I don't know if he called time. I think he did this one in there for strike 1. And by the way, it is a new pitcher. Forgot to introduce him. My apologies. It is Trevor Laughlin. As Gomez is saying he called time. Laughlin threw a pitch that undoubtedly would have been a strike. As Gomez calls time again. Okay, so the first one was a ball. It was a ball. So the count is 1-1. So they count 1-1 to Gomez. Gomez 0 for 2 as he swings and misses on that one. Count now 0-2. Gomez ground out in the first and grounded into a fielder's choice and would later go on to score in the fourth. He fouls off the 1-2 to stay alive. The new pitcher, Trevor Laughlin, is right here in his hometown stadium, a Junction City native. Strikes Sean Gomez out for his first K of the evening, 2 away. A graduate of Junction City High School as well. This would have been his home stadium for a high school. And I know he played on last year's Junction City squad as well. The first pitch to Alex Holman. Strike one. This one roped into right field, but right to the glove of Cale Ortner. And that'll do it here in the top of the fifth inning. No runs off, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. A 1-2-3 inning, and Junction City keeps their lead at 5. We will see if they can add to it in the bottom of the fifth after the break. We're back with the bottom of the fifth inning. It is Zach Becker to lead the inning off. For his third plate appearance, Becker is 1 for 1 with a run and reached base via an HBP as well. He takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. And this one nearly hits him once again. However, it is ball 2. And it is Jefferson Camillo, out as the pitcher once again. Becker sends this one up, foul, and out of play. 2-1. As the sun definitely set at least a decent amount. It's not fully set, but the lights are on it here in Junction City in the sky as this one fouled off to the third base side once again. The count even at 2-2. The sky is a nice, kind of has a purplish tint off on the third base side, as I believe I will double check this as the 2-2 is high and the count moves full. I believe the stadium is the orientation of the stadium is home plate as the full count the payoff pitch, low and in, and Zach Becker with a leadoff walk.
Now batting for the Brigade, number 12, Cale Ortner.
Yes, I was correct. So as Cale Ortner takes the first pitch high for ball one. The home plate is in the southwest part of the field. The center field wall would be the northeast. As Ortner sends this one to the glove of Stephen Fermin in center field for out number one. Had kind of the pop off the bat, but Stephen Fermin, a tough customer to try and get one by. Has a lot of speed and can cover a lot of ground in center field.
15, Jackson
And that's what
Summers.
he did there. However, he didn't have to move very far. It is Jackson Summers up at the plate now for his third time. First pitch he sees is high for ball one. Summers 1 for 2 with a strikeout, and a single, and scored on the single as he fouls that one off for strike number one, evening up the count at 1-1. The 1-1 turned on and appeal down to first. Did he go? No, he did not. So the count now 2-1 to Summers. The 2-1 hit into right field. Lane Wilkerson making the grab and throws back to first to find Becker. Becker really wasn't sure. That was a pretty shallow hit, but Lane Wilkerson did well to run up on it. And the double play is made, so that'll do it here in the the bottom of the fifth inning. No runs off, no hits, no errors, nobody left on the unconventional 1-2-3. And we go to the top of the sixth after the break. Back here with the top of the sixth inning. It is Joel Peguero to lead things off. He takes the first pitch in there for strike one. The next one hit to David Simmons at third, and no play. Simmons tried to throw over to first, but no play could be made as Joel Peguero is one speedy guy. Works himself an infield single. And Topeka with a runner on to start the top of the sixth. Had to finish the end of my scorebook. That was from last inning. That play, the F9 3 double play. You don't see it every day, but you see it some. I've seen some very, very weird double plays. As Lane Wilkerson up at the plate. Wilkerson chops one foul down the first base side. I've seen some. I'm calling a lot of games in Baldwin City. Baldwin City turned a lot of double plays in a lot of weird ways. I think my personal favorite was a 1-2-3 double play. It was the 0-1, low in the dirt, blocked well by Becker for strike one, or for ball one. The 1-1 catches the outer part of the zone for 1-2. But the 1-2-3 I think was hit to the pitcher. He threw home to get the force, and then the catcher threw to first to get the force there. So kind of fun. The Laughlin throws over to try and catch Pagero, cannot find him, so the count remains at 1-2. The Olympics did not start today. The Olympics opening ceremony was today. Unfortunately, haven't really been able to watch much, but I'm hoping as the season winds down, I might be able to watch a little more. Of course, it was soccer and rugby sevens on Wednesday as Wilkerson takes another pitch in the dirt, evening up the count at 2-2. And then I want to say fencing started yesterday as well, in addition to those two sports. I'm not even sure how the U.S. has done so far, unfortunately, as Pagero goes, and this ball hit to Pacheco at second. Pagero had such a jump that there wasn't even an attempt over. But Wilkerson retired, but moves the runner Pagero into scoring position.
Now batting for the Warhawks.
And it's Topeka with a runner in scoring position with one out. And you have to think with Pagero's speed on the base pass as he takes another one in there for called strike one, that he might try to steal another bag. I believe he has one earlier in the game. The 0-1 to Pretorius turns into 0-2. Pretorius 1 for 2 with a strikeout as this one chopped foul down the third base side, and it's Keegan McDonald coming out from the Junction City dugout to field that one. One of my other kind of favorite things about baseball is, what everybody does about a foul ball and how those are. As this ball rolls into play, I believe it's the same foul ball, and so time is called. Oh, we're ready to go now. Count remaining at 0-2. We're on second. Laughlin goes. This one fouled off once again. DO2. Swung on and missed. Trevor Laughlin with his second strikeout of the evening. And it is the second out of the inning with the catcher, Ryan Mendiola, up to the plate. The 0-1, or excuse me, the 0-1. That made the count 0-1. I got ahead of myself. But the first pitch in there for 0-1, Mendiola calls time. Mendiola currently 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. The 0-1 outside for ball one, as Junction City has done a pretty good job of keeping Topeka runners off the base pass. They've had 3 innings in 4 of their innings so far, as the 1-1 chased on an outside off speed, and the count now at 1-2. So, but four of Junction City's innings is this one chopped foul and fielded by manager Jose Suero. So I don't think I finished that thought before, but I always like to see what happens after foul balls and how everybody fields them and everything like that. The 1-2 once again fouled off and the count remains at 1-2. But 4 innings, the first 3 were no-hit innings for Junction City. The fourth was when Topeka blew up quite a bit, had 3 runs off 2 hits. They ended up stranding 3 as this one hit up into the air, and it's Ian Luce under it. He makes the grabs. That'll do it here in the top of the 6th inning. No runs off 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Junction City retaining their 8-3 lead. Back from the break after the, well, it is the bottom of the 6th. It's Sammy Padilla to lead things off for Junction City, and he is the top of the order as well. The first pitch he sees by Jefferson Camillo outside for ball 1. Padilla has reached base twice. We'll see if he can do it again. This one into center field and into the glove of Stephen Fermin, so he cannot. 1 away. I was saying that the Olympics is going on. There was no actual events today, just the opening ceremonies,
Number 10, Ian Luce.
which was, but there were some training events going on today. The, I believe, shooting, but doesn't count for anything. But the count is 0-1 to Ian Luce. Luce has reached base every time as he fouls this one off for strike 2. He's reached base every time, but he is just 1 for 1. Has reached 3 of the 7 possible ways to reach first base, as I think both pitcher and hitter were ready. However, our home plate umpire was not. So ready to go, but there are 7 ways to reach first base, and Luce has done 3 of them. A hit, as he takes this one low for ball 1. A hit, a walk, and a hit by pitch are the 3. The other ones, I believe, are error, fielder's choice, catcher interference, and I'm going to feel dumb for this one. The 1 and 2 turned on and fouled off down the third base side. It's going to come to me, like, soon. The 1 and 2 fouled off once again. So one underrated thing that Ian Luce does well is keeping at-bats alive. That double that he had, he started 0-2 and fouled 4 pitches off before he was even put the double in play as he takes the 1-2 outside and makes it 2-2. Hit, walk, HPP, error, and interference. He sends this one into left center field. It is Corbin Evans calling off Fermin, and he makes the grab for out number 2. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it.
Now batting for the Brigade, number 18, David Simmons.
It's one of those exercises I've done with my broadcast partner Brett, who is of course not here tonight. It's just me, and I'm gonna look this up as David Simmons, the next batter up to the plate, and he sees the first pitch in there for called strike 1. The 0-1 the same, 0-2. Yeah. The one I missed was drop third strike. Can't believe I missed that. But the 0-2 hit up into the air, and it is Lane Wilkerson under it. He makes the catch, so each Topeka Warhawk outfielder making a catch in this inning. And we are through 6. No runs off, no hits, no errors. Junction City keeps their lead at 8-3. Let's see if Topeka can respond after the break. Back from the break, Jefferson Teneo leading off the top of the 7th for the Topeka Warhawks. First pitch he sees by Junction City pitcher Trevor Laughlin is outside for ball 1. Make that one ball 2. So the count 2-0 to Teneo. Make that 2-1. Teneo 0 for 1. Had a line out in the bottom of the 3rd. He sends this one into center field, and he's on board with the leadoff single. And up to the plate now is Corbin Evans. Evans looking for his first hit of the game. Laughlin throws over to try and catch Teneo. Cannot find him. But Evans 0 for 2 with a strikeout. As I mentioned before, Evans is an Arlington native. So you have to wonder, as he shows bunt, fouls it off, 0-1. You have to wonder if he is a Rangers fan. And if he is, he certainly had a fun October, last October, as the Texas Rangers did win the World Series, defeating the Arizona Diamondbacks. Of course, 3 Tucson natives. Laughlin throws over, no tag even applied. 3 Tucson natives on the side of Junction City. I, a Royals fan, am just happy to see us playing above 500 ball right now. This one, Evans gets out of the way of it, but nearly hits him probably, that might have hit him right in the face. So luckily he did get out of the way of it, and it is just the ball. 1-1 the count. He sends this one up the middle. Summers doesn't even throw to, doesn't move to second, throws to first. And the home plate umpire is saying that George Andrews' foot was off the bag. I am pretty stunned at that call. I'll say that. I thought that he thought that he had it, and manager Chandler Bloomer is going to come over to at least argue this call. Unfortunately, we don't have any kind of instant replay in this league. So should this stand, that would not be a hit. I'm not sure. We'll see how they rule it. However, there's the only person that could overturn that call would maybe be the home plate umpire. And the home plate umpire and the first base umpire are going to talk it over. Should this stand, which it likely will, then it will be runners on first and second with nobody out. And we're bringing in the other field umpire to convene on this call. At least what I saw, it did not look like Andrews had his foot off the bag. It looked like a pretty open and shut out. However, the call was safe, and so that's probably what they're going to go with. And they're deliberating quite a bit. And either way, just recapping that play, as the call stands as safe. Very, very rarely do you see, obviously, like I said, we don't have video replay, nor do most summer leagues in college. So rarely do you see calls get overturned, but it does mean there are runners on first and second with nobody out. And Stephen Fermin shows bunt, however it goes foul. And count 0-1. So we'll see how they scored it. How our official scorekeeper scored it, because I'm pretty... So it's ruled a single, and that is what we will go with. The 0-1 fouled off into the netting, 0-2. The 0-2 outside. 4-1. Fermin has reached base just once. Reached via an error by the third baseman, David Simmons, and that's where he's done this one into left field, into the glove of Sammy Padilla. The throw back to second in time. A 7-6 double play. And just like that, the lead runner is eliminated. The ball is caught, so 1 out. The lead runner is eliminated, 2 outs. So what a swing. As Laughlin throws over to try to find Evans. Cannot find him, but what a turn of events. As Topeka had runners on first and second with nobody out, and now they have just the runner on first with 2 outs. Sean Gomez at the plate. Gomez 0 for 3, and he sends this one to David Simmons at third. Makes the throw over to first in time, and that'll do it here in the top of the 7th inning. The runs off 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on. Junction City still leads 8-3. Will they add to it? We will see after the break, after the 7th inning stretch. Do not go anywhere.
George Andrews.
George Andrews leads off the the bottom of the 7th inning. Whoops, forgot to switch that over. Is Jefferson Camillo out for another inning for Topeka. And the first one, pitch that George Andrews sees, he sends into left field, and it's over the head of Corbin Evans. George Andrews goes to third, and he will stay there as I believe Evans lost that one in the lights. A stand-up triple by George Andrews, and
George Andrews starts at bottom of the 7th with
well, his slugging percentage just continues to go up. A home run and a triple. So what it looked like, though, was Evans located where he thought he had it. However, that ball landed pretty close to the warning track and about 15 to 20 feet left to Evans' right, and behind him as well as the first pitch that Giovanni Toledo sees. Outside, or in there for called strike one. Sorry, it was swung on a miss, as is this pitch to the count 0-2 to Toledo, who is looking for his first hit, 0-2. However, has reached via a walk. The 0-2 outside for ball one. As I temporarily spent time as an outfielder. Well, I quit playing baseball in probably like 7th grade, but I played a lot of left field, played a lot of right field, played a lot of center bench as the 1 and 2 outside for 2 and 2. This is why I don't play baseball anymore. I just talk about it. But I can recall many times where I lost the ball in the lights. Played a lot of night games, so happened quite a bit. Count even at 2 and 2. This one sent into right field, and it is the second baseman. It's the second baseman Pretorius, I believe, who made the catch in foul territory. However, Andrews quick to make the play. Tags up from third. So the rare sac foul out, obviously, is what is going to be what I'm going to score it as Andrew Pacheco sends this one into left field, and Corbin Evans is under it and makes the grab for out number 2. So Junction City's lead is now 6. They put up 1 run in this inning. Zach Becker up to the plate for the 4th time. 1 for 1 so far. Looking for, he's 1 for 1. However, as I mentioned before, I mentioned before with Luce, how Luce has reached base 3 the possible 7 ways. Becker has done the same. A single and a run, a hit by pitch, and a walk as he fouls one off into, I believe that hit the grandstand on the left field side. Count at 1-1. The 1-1 fouled off for 1-2. So Camillo's doing pretty well to keep up. As we do, or Camillo's just 1 pitch away from getting out of this. At 1-2, and we will have to wait to see the result. That pitch goes outside for 2-2. So we do have Olympic events all day tomorrow. He sends this one into left center field, and Stephen Fermin makes the grab. So that'll do it here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1 run off 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. Junction City adds to their lead. They now lead 9-3 as we go to the top of the 8th inning after the break. Back here with the top of the 8th inning, Alex Allman to lead things off for the Topeka Warhawks. First pitch he sees is a ball. Next one, low for ball 2. Allman is 0 for 2, however, has reached via a walk, which he scored on. And he is 75% of the way to another one, as the last pitch was ball 3. This one, the 3-0 in there for called strike 1. It is Trevor Laughlin out for another inning. The 3-1 hit to the glove of George Andrews at first. He runs over and tags the bag for the first out of the inning. And it is Joel Peguero up to the plate. So should the result hold, Junction City will take a 1-0 lead as Joel Peguero swings at the first pitch for called strike, not called strike 1. Strike 1 swinging. So should Junction City, obviously it would be a 1-0 lead. Game 2 be tomorrow in Topeka. Peguero swings and misses once again. The count now 0-2. That game will be tomorrow in Topeka. You can find the video stream for that on the Topeka Warhawks Game Changer. Unfortunately, we cannot do an audio-only stream. Ran into this problem on Monday. We were going to do one. We're not able to as the 1-2 goes inside for 2-2. I'm going to see if I can, but the realistic answer is probably not, as the 2-2 is swung on and missed out of the glove of Zach Becker, and so a strikeout for Laughlin. However, Joel Peguero reaches via the drop third strike, so I believe that may be just I think somebody has reached via the 6 of the 7. We just haven't had a catcher interference, although I don't think I've had a catcher interference I haven't seen a catcher interference all season, as the 0-1. The 0-0 swung on and missed by Lane Wilkerson. Wilkerson 0 for 3, trying to get something going as he sends this one into left center field. And he got something going. It's a 2-run shot. Topeka cuts the lead from 6-4 via the 2-run home run by Lane Wilkerson. So just as I was starting to say that the Warhawks are kind of needing to get something going, They do it there. The second home run of the game, the first for Topeka. They score their first runs since the top of the fourth. And their deficit is now just 4 as Darian Pretorius, next batter up, shows bunt. Decides to go with it. However, cannot find bat on ball. As he ropes this one over the glove of David Simmons and into left field. Pretorius is on with a 1-out single. And up to the plate now is Ryan Mendiola. So Topeka's this is their second real kind of run at a play. This is just the third inning that they've had base runners on. There have been 5. Actually, another one is this one over the head of Jackson Summers into center field, and the line keeps moving. 2 runners on. Both via the single with Jefferson Teneo up at the plate. Teneo 1 for 2 has a single and a walk. And he sends this one foul down the first base side. And Topeka has life, and I think they're doing well with what probably the MO is to get runs, is just keep the line moving. A 2-run shot as this one past the glove. Becker blocked it, however, was not able to necessarily keep it in front of him. So both Pretorius and Mendiola move over to second and third. So not only does that mean 2 runners in scoring position, no force now. No force at second base, which there was previously. And so that changes your defensive strategy up quite a bit as the count now 2-1 to Teneo. The 2-1 in there for called strike 2. The count now even at 2-2. So it's in kind of times like this is the 2-2 just slow, and the count goes full. It's times like this where Topeka starts to charge back, and that kind of re-energizes the place as the full count is hit to second. Throw over to first in time. However, that scores Pretorius, with Mendiola moving over to third. So Topeka scores a 6. They still have a runner on. They still have a runner on third base in Ryan Mendiola as Corbin Evans swings at the first pitch that he sees. But as I said, this kind of re-energizes because the Topeka dugout gets very, very lively as the 0-1 outside for ball 1. And also the Junction City fans giving their words of support. And this kind of has been a boring game is absolutely not the word that I would use, but kind of a one side it hasn't been either. It's just been a very, very streaky game as the 2-1 catch the inner part of the zone at 2-2. However, it has been a game where Junction City is largely dominated outside of a couple innings by Topeka, but that's all you need as this one is sent into the outfield. Mendiola scores from third, and the deficit now just 2 off the RBI single from Corbin Evans. And there is somebody else in the Junction City bullpen, and I cannot tell who it is, as Stephen Fermin, the next batter up. The first one he sees is to second base. He throws to short in time. That was Pacheco at second. So that'll do it here in the top of the 8th inning.
Brigade, after 8.5 innings.
4 runs off 4 hits, including a 2-run Lane Wilkerson home run. No errors. Topeka strands 1. They cut the lead to 2 We'll see how Junction City responds in the bottom of the 8th after the break. Cale Ortner leads off the bottom of the 8th. Junction City currently leads this one at 9-7. Topeka plating 4 in the top half of this inning, as the first pitch by Jefferson Camillo is low for ball 1. And the same result, however, different method. That one outside for ball 2. Ortner is 0 for 2, however, reached base in the bottom of the second as he sees another low and away fastball for ball 3. However, yes, so reached base via a walk and scored in the bottom of the third, and has since flied out to center field in the next 2 attempts. The 3-0 in there for strike 1. The 3-1 inside, and Cale Ortner walks once again, and Junction City has their leadoff runner on, with Jackson Summers up at the plate.
Now batting for Brigade, number 15, Jackson Summers.
Summers is 1 for 3 with a single and a run, as well as a strikeout. He takes the first pitch in the inner part of the zone for called strike 1. So tomorrow we do have quite a bit of action in the Olympics, as Summers turns around to start to check swing. Found the bat though, so 0-2. Starts at, I believe, 1:30 Central Time with badminton. A lot of that. Then we have some handball, rowing, shooting, volleyball, a lot going on. Pretty much any sport you can think of, as Camillo throws over to find Ortner, cannot find him. Basketball starts tomorrow as well. I think that's the one. Maybe the one, basketball and tennis. I think tennis could be very, very exciting. Depending on who plays, it is. As Ortner was going, Summers fouls it off, though. It is at Rolling Garros, and Rafael Nadal back on clay, so that one will at least be a little exciting. People always say, what sport do, it's a general question, not just to me, obviously. What sport do you get into? Is the 0-2 high and in for ball 1, 1-2 the count. But what sport do you get into at the Olympics that you would otherwise not pay attention to at all, and you're a very, very big fan, a fanatical fan? I say all of them. All of them are fun. With a couple exceptions I'm not too excited about. Probably won't be watching like break dancing or stuff like that, but otherwise exciting. I'm also very excited, as Camilla throws over first again, for the 2028 Olympics, has 2 sports that I would consider up near my favorites. There is I'll tell you after the 1 and 2, Ortner went once again. Summers fouled it off once again. They're adding lacrosse and cricket, which I'm very, very excited about. I believe the lacrosse will be 6s, though. So a scale down. Men's and women's. I haven't ever seen women's lacrosse 6s. However, the Premier Lacrosse League puts on a 6s event in the winter. I believe that was won by the Boston Cannons this year. The 1 and 2 just low and outside. The count moves to 2 and 2. And then flag football. Flag football I'm excited for. Men's and women's flag football. We'll see how the U.S. does, and a lot of the NFL players is Ortner goes. Summers lays one down. Kind of a swinging bunt. Camilla throws over to first and gets him. However, the lead runner in Ortner advances to second base, and Junction City has Sammy Padilla up at the plate. But a lot of NFL players are wanting to play, but we'll see how that goes, because I think a lot of the skill set from flag football, I'm not sure will translate, or skill set from tackle football, I'm not sure how it'll translate to flag football. It got really quiet in here, and the first pitch that Padilla sees, and therefore strike one. The women's flag football team, the school that I'm currently employed at, Ottawa University, has won the last in all 3 that have ever been held NAI Women's Flag Football National Championships. This one is into right field, and a nice kind of diving play by Lane Wilkerson saves a run for sure.
Now batting for the Brigade.
And makes it 2 outs. But the cricket one I'm very excited about, because I wanted that in the Olympics for forever. And I believe they announced yesterday, as Ian Luce is up to the plate, that there will be an esports Olympics. I'm not sure how they're doing that, as Luce fouls first pitch off for strike one. I'm not sure how that works as far as if the esports Olympics is going to be its own standalone event, or whether it will be just combined with the regular Olympics. I know they've been kind of pushing to get esports in the Olympics for the last few years, and they're finally getting it. I'm not sure, but I saw some of the titles they have, and well, the U.S. has no chance, as this one is hit into center field and into the glove of Stephen Fermin. So that'll do it here in the bottom of the 8th inning. No runs off, no hits, no errors, 1 left on. Topeka has one more chance to score 2 runs to at least extend this game. We'll see if they can do it after the break. Whoops. Okay, I'm back. Sean Gomez steps into the batter's box with the game on the line, sort of. Topeka has 3 outs to score 2 or more runs. 2 would obviously tie it, 3 to take the lead. Sean Gomez sends one into left field, and he's aboard via a leadoff single. And it is a new pitcher replacing Trevor Laughlin. It's Keegan McDonald. McDonald, a second-year player for Junction City, a resident of nearby Clay Center, as he takes the first pitch. Or Alex Alleman takes the first pitch outside for ball one. And Alleman is the tying run. And that one in there for strike one. But Keegan has played, this is his second year at Junction City, the third in the league. In 2022, he was a Baldwin City Blue. As his next pitch is inside on Alleman, the count at 2-1. So I got to see quite a lot of Keegan in 2022. It's one of Baldwin City's better players of the year. Is the fastball fouled off for strike two, 2-2 the count. McDonald currently playing his college ball at Washburn, redshirted his first season there after spending 2 years at Neosho County Community College in Chanute. The 2-2 outside, the count now full. The payoff pitch into left field and into the glove of Sammy Padilla for out number one. So up now to the plate is Joel Peguero. Peguero has reached base all 4 times that he has been up at the plate. And the first pitch you see is in there for called strike one. The 0-1 sent to the glove of George Andrews. He throws over to second to get the lead runner. There will be no throw over to first. Smart play by Andrews to at least keep the runner out of scoring position. And Topeka has just 1 out to play with. But maybe who better up to the plate than Lane Wilkerson, who takes the first pitch in there for strike one. Wilkerson 1 for 4. However, that one hit is a 2-run home run that kind of kick-started Topeka's last inning. He fouls this one off, and Topeka down to their final strike, as the count is 0-2. But should he put another one over, that would tie the game up. The 0-2, high for ball one, is McDonald. If you are McDonald, you have to think you can do a little bit of kind of make him chase. You're up now. You now probably have 2 more balls to work with before it really gets real. The 1-2 outside, and the count goes even at 2-2. Deuces are wild. And the crowd getting into it in Junction City. The claps, the 2-2 high. Full count. Second full count of the inning, and even this is making my heart beat. This is kind of a fun game as Wilkerson, the last pitch outside for ball 4. Wilkerson works a 4-pitch walk. So the leading run is now at the plate in Darian Pretorius.
Number 3, Darian.
Yeah. Runners on first and second, so force at any base but home as the first pitch to Pretorius just outside for ball 1. This one, chop foul. Count moves even at 1-1. So stadium goes quiet for just a minute, and surely it will get loud in 1 second. Here it goes. This one hit to David Simmons at third. He just goes over and tags the base. And that'll do it here in the top of the 9th. No runs off 1 hit, no errors. Topeka strands 2, and that is the game. Junction City Brigade take game 1 by a score of 9-7. And we will go to a game 2 tomorrow with Junction City, a 1-0 lead. I will not be on the call for that unless we can do some snap power decisions, and by power I mean electricity, to be able to plug my computer and stuff like that. If I do it, it will be an audio-only stream. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Probably won't be, but if I do one, it will be here on the Sunflower Sports Network. So I'll try. Probably not, though. But you can find it. You can find the video for the game on the Topeka Warhawks Game Changer. Junction City, if they win tomorrow, will win their 8th Cowden Cup and their 4th consecutive. Junction City has not lost a playoff series since 2017. As we wrap up, I'm going to do 2 things. I want to name a player of the game, as well as I would probably name my player of the game to be maybe George Andrews. Andrews with 5 RBIs and 2 runs, a triple and a home run. So we will see what happens tomorrow. As we wrap up, I want to say thank you all for listening. Unless extreme circumstances happen, this will be my last. Unless extreme circumstances happen as far as getting to call a game tomorrow, this might be my last call for the season. So I want to thank you all for tuning in and listening. It's been another fun season. Got to call more games than normal. But I bid you all good night. Stay safe, and thank you again for watching. Okay, bye.